original thought of Midas started when I looked at what is on offer in terms of schooling and in terms of the skills that are needed in the modern world, and realized that as the world changes, our schools don't change. I would say we are different, we are new, we are modern, we are responsive to the needs of a modern world, to the needs of a modern child, and we seek to constantly evaluate and reflect on what we are doing to make sure that we are contemporary and we are relevant. The environment that we are trying to create is an environment that is animated by values, the most important being self-discovery and reflection. When our students come to school, by the time they leave, what do they know about themselves, as opposed to what do they know about books and what they have been taught? Are they able to reflect on their world? Are they able to reflect on their situation? Are they able to reflect on their actions? Are they able to reflect on information and knowledge in order to synthesize it to come up with new knowledge? So I would say we are unique in that aspect. We do not just seek to impart information and knowledge. We seek to create an environment where students can self-discover and reflect and act upon their modern world. In changing the learning, the classroom architecture, we have made sure that the students sit in a different environment. They sit in conferencing mode, so that we remove the teacher from being the center of the learning process, and the teacher becomes a co-investigator with the students. We have made ICT an integral part of the learning process. The learning environment that is created by ICT, or that is availed to us by ICT, is so expansive that with virtual learning, the question of the actual classroom becomes irrelevant, because we can be able to engage our students with ICT even when they are not in school. One of the fundamental changes in education that ICT has brought about is the fact that information is available to everyone, and information is available easily, it is accessible, and it is a lot. It used to be that the problem with schooling a few decades ago was that there was one textbook, and students would share the textbook, and the teacher had the textbook with the answers, and that was just about it. ICT has changed everything. So the question is, in a world where information and knowledge is available, what is the relevance of the school? And this is the discussion that we are having at Midas. And we understand that in a world where information and knowledge is available, the skills that the students need are not information, because information is available, is critical thinking. How do you select this information, and what do you do with the information once you have selected the information? Because it's there, it's a lot. You need the skills to discriminate useless and useful information, and you need the skills to know what to do with the information once you have accessed it. When you come to Midas, you are subscribing to a transformative thinking in terms of what is it that the world of the future requires you to be, and are you in the environment that allows you to be that? And for us in Midas, we try to create that environment. We work very hard to create that environment. We engage with our stakeholders to create that environment. And therefore, a parent and a child who is looking for that kind of environment would feel absolutely at home in Midas. And the same question would be asked of the teachers. What type of teacher would feel at home in the Midas environment? And it's a challenging question, because I think that they still train teachers the way they used to train them 20, 30 years ago. And the kind of environment we are creating requires somebody who not only thinks differently, but is willing to be challenged to think differently. If you come into a transformative environment and you are inflexible, you will find the environment extremely challenging to survive in. And therefore, the type of teacher who survives in Midas is the flexible type, the engaging type, and the type that is not afraid to get a little bit uncomfortable about what they know and what they thought teaching is. Because most of the things that our teachers know about teaching by the time they're coming to Midas are challenged by the environment, and it requires that they very quickly acquire new coping skills, new technical skills, and new abilities to survive. We are the people who think about education and about schooling. And we are the people who ask ourselves, are we being contemporary? Are we being relevant? Or are we doing the same thing that everybody else is doing? If one is looking for an environment that engages in contemporary challenges in education and constantly seeks to get solutions and constantly seeks to be relevant to the world for which we are training our students, then Midas is the place to be.